Hello, my name is Eric McDowell. I am known at camp as McDuff, and this summer we gotta start over because I gotta figure out how many years. Hello, my name is Eric McDowell.
My name's Natalie, or Nart here at camp.
My name's Emily.
Alyssa Bloomquist.
My name is Merm.
Michael Reagan O'Connell III, Moko Baggins, Moko Loco.
Stephen Eric Dolsky.
Michaela England, but most people call me Mickey at camp.
My name is Heather.
My name is Julie.
I'm Nadia Wenzel. I have been coming to camp since 2005.
This will be my 12th summer. The past 11 years.
Probably around the year 2000.
7 years ago.
Back in 2003.
For 13 years now.
Part of camp for the last 15 years of my life.
Sunday best and broken glass, rocking down from the bikes and bars, suspended like spirits over speeding cars. You and me were kings over the parkway tonight, and tonight will go on forever while we walk around this town like we own the streets, and stay awake through summer like we own the heat, singing everybody wake up, it's time to get, everybody wake up, it's time to get.
It's really just this isolated environment that provides so many opportunities for people to grow as a person, whether it's learning new skills or learning how to communicate or making new friends. And I think it's a really unique experience that, especially nowadays, it's so hard to get away from technology, and camp is the only place I know where you can successfully do it. And I think just knowing that we have so much to offer here and such an amazing group of people that come here and how much they all feel like camp has changed and shaped them as a person really speaks to how important camp is.
There's definitely no place like this camp. It's the most authentic to, I think, what an old school summer camp from the movies is like, but also it's a feel-good place in the way that we're not going to coddle you, but we're going to make sure everyone's comfortable and happy and can be their most authentic self.
It just allows you to just be your truest, weirdest, most bizarre self and get celebrated for it. So just in a world where maybe you have to be a little bit more subdued, all of the bright colors of yourself can come out here, and it's what everyone loves the most, the spirit.
There's this magic about camp, as I said before, that can really never be felt until you've been here. And the magic that comes along with these kids and the purity of it and the relationships they can build in 6 days is truly unparalleled. And even something as simple as this documentary, like it could be the most amazing documentary, but the feeling that you get here is truly one of a kind.
I've had to describe camp to people who haven't been there before, and it's almost indescribable because it's such a personal experience that putting it into words never feels like you give it justice.
You have fun, you're outdoors, and it's insane to me that we can jam-pack all of these values and all of these important aspects of life in 7 days.
On Sunday we do a portion called Activity Sign Up, and the name is self-explanatory. We sign kids up for activities, but we have to first pitch our activity to them. And it's like a little infomercial. You have to sell them your activity, make it sound like it's the best one there, but every single one is the best one there. And so every staff, it's a little competitive, but every staff is trying to advertise their class as the best class they could possibly take, as the most fun they could possibly have. It's super, super fun. And they can be really funny, they can just be simple, and they work, and they show kids, like, take my class, it's fantastic, and they're going to have a great time, and then they do. Like, if I was going to pitch grass picking, I'd say, ever just sitting on the ground, you don't know what to do? take my class, grass picking at 9 o'clock. I can take 12.
Why should parents send their kids to Hartford County 4-H camp?
So they can find themselves.
I think parents should send kids to camp because they have a lot of autonomy that they don't necessarily get outside of camp. Like, there's so much more structured time even compared to when I was younger, where we just go outside and play. Now they have all their scheduled activities. At camp, kids have free time and they get to pick all of their activities. So it's really that first time that a lot of kids get to take charge of their own lives and be silly and do whatever they really want to do without the confines of their everyday life and their parents.
Just the fact that it's so unplugged. You're so disconnected from the outside world in a sense because you don't have your phone, you don't have electronics, you're not worried about who's watching you or what you're doing. You really have free range to be creative and just be yourself. And you don't have to deal with the idea of scrutiny or judgment because this is a place where people celebrate that you're being your true self, your true crazy self, and they encourage that.
If you are stepping out of your comfort zone, there are people there to support you at all times. And I think that's a healthy way to build up that courage to go and try do bigger things with your life and try stuff that's out of your comfort zone.
There's nothing that compares to a week spent here when you're such a young and impressionable kid. And I think that there's never been a time where like there hasn't been good people running this place. Ultimately, every kid should have an experience where they get to like unattach themselves from the outside world, no matter what place they are in life, and come to a place where just acceptance and inclusivity and to unwind and just be your best self. Like, I think every kid needs to experience that, and this place definitely offers that. So.
Ellie, what's your 20?
Are we ready to go on the hike? Oh no, wrong channel.
Oh, we're going on the hike, buddy. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun and sweaty and hot.
We are going on a hike. Very excited. The kids are all here. Also, Mike is a lion, if you can see that.
time, everybody gets in their bathing suits, they go down to the pond, and we play the sickest game of water polo. Water polo is kind of like soccer in the water with your hands. You're throwing a ball into a net. There's a goalie and then a bunch of children who don't have actual positions.
What's the key to winning water polo?
Be aggressive. Yes. They will not win.
One thing that's interesting is that if you go to college, you end up living with people, but it's not the same. When you go to camp as a kid, you start at like 9 years old, or if you're in mini camp, even younger. You learn how to cohabitate with people. You learn how to share things. You learn how to understand other people's problems because you're with them all the time. And that's just a very basic part of how you start learning really young about real life things and how to be an empathetic human being and therefore a better friend.
Camp has made me a better listener. I think everybody's kind of selfish when they're younger, and as you grow up you learn to put yourself aside for other people, but being at camp speeds that up.
I think one of my biggest lessons is just confidence. I built a lot of confidence while I was here when I was a younger kid, also from the staff members being my role models, and then teamwork and collaboration because you work together with other kids throughout the week to create awesome memories and do these awesome crafts. And so those are some of the skills that I've brought from my childhood into my college life and then beyond into my professional field.
I guess just stay young. You don't need to become old and grumpy. You could, stay the way you are. You could be happy. You could learn new things. You could be constantly growing like a kid does, but forever. So that's a lesson I learned with camp. I'm 22 years old and I'm still going back, so.
I think socially the biggest thing camp has done for me is to get me to come out of my shell. I am pretty shy, but I'm also an extrovert, so I am loud and will talk, but I'm also scared of new situations and meeting new people, and camp has taught me how to deal with that and how to strike up a conversation with somebody or find out what works for me.
Kids come here and they learn how to work and they learn the sense of camaraderie that comes along with camp, because without the campers none of camp could happen, whether it's cleaning the bathrooms or sweeping or cleaning their cabins. There's a sense of responsibility that comes along with that, but I think one of the most important things they learn is how to accept other people and how to come here and look at other people and never see anything. And as corny as it sounds, it's really other than the color green, the 4-H color.
What's your favorite part of Friday? So here it comes. Ready? I feel like I don't even need to say more about Friday to have a valid argument, but wait for it. Ready? The activity at night is the dance, and what better way to celebrate a whole week other than dance for 2 hours nonstop with kids that sometimes don't know how to dance, sometimes do know how to dance, but nonetheless, just dance because everyone makes a fool of themselves and it's so much fun, and you really get to know some of the campers that, didn't talk all week, you'll find them dancing somehow, and that's fun.
And everyone just goes hardcore, and no one cares if you're freaking out and having a great time. Flashing lights, camera, it's awesome, and it's a great workout, so.
Everyone's just going their hardest. For me, I like to express happiness by dancing and moving around and being energetic, and that happens naturally with a dance, and it's a lot of fun. And that's how I meet some of my favorite people, because all of a sudden they're dancing their butts off. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna join. So yeah, Fridays are the best.
It's taught me how to minimize some of the things that a lot of people put a lot of focus on in their life and make sure that those around me are happy. It's allowed me to create a balance in my life that could never have been created of fun and happiness, and remembering that when things are not going well, if you're still smiling at the end of the day, if you can go to bed knowing that you changed the way somebody felt about themselves, whether it's at camp or not, you're doing a good job in your life.
And you just can't not go back. It like becomes part of like who you are and your family almost. It's great.
This really is like its own little world. Your week here as a camper is kind of like a little life in itself, and I think that you experience a lot here in such a little amount of time, and I think it teaches you things every time you come here. This place has made me be able to love myself in a way that allows me to love other people more and just interact with them in like a different way.
I found my voice because of camp. Every time I went, I learned something new about myself, and it really came back to that independence. You don't have anybody there, like your parents holding your hands and helicoptering over you. You really make a name for yourself at camp.
There's so many things about camp that you can say are like fun, and fun obviously is a large factor in what makes people want to be here, but I don't think it's what keeps people here as long as I've been here and as long as a lot of other people have been here. And it's not what makes campers and counselors come back year after year. It's the way that camp cultivates a type of person, a heart where it changes your life and it alters your path as a human being. Knowing that, it's hard to tear yourself away. This place has changed me fundamentally. It's hard to say goodbye to that, and I'm so gracious for everything this camp has done to me and changed about me. Camp's put me on the path I am in my life, and I think it does that for a lot of different people as well. The fun, the friends, yeah, they keep me coming back, but it's also just the way that camp has become part of who I am as a person.
This is a message to the future. Coming your way is one fine group of boys and girls, one fine group of men and women with a little bit of camp smarts, with that genuine love for a friend, old and new, a butterfly feeling for Bambi, and wide-eyed from the warmth of a fire, a welcoming teriyake glaze, and the salty taste of tears on a Friday night. Camp smarts that give us extra comfort to act extra crazy because here, it's only normal. We thank the Lord for giving us the things we need, the temporary tats, the sun, the rain, and the blistered feet. Crab people, milk by the pint, and bug spray with extra DEET. We don't come out of our shell. We unleash. It is here, my friends, in our familiar grassy seat, that we receive a Harvard education in 1 week on how to be the people that a perfect world needs. The kids that make mom and dad proud. The soon-to-be moms and dads of beautiful children. Just like us, grass-stained, sunburned heads, growing imperfectly ourselves. I will call on you, brother, in the safety of a moon shadow, 500 miles deep in my imagination, to compare scars. These are camp smarts.
My name's Nart, and you're watching Disney Channel. Beep, 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 beep.
What happened? What was so gross?
Some kid just came up and spit in Steven's mouth.
You scratched me really hard, someone. I heard my skin rip.
AKO, the best frat at camp.
Battle of the Bands, or as we like to have it called.
I got the flash monster.
If you think that JFK was not assassinated by the CIA, I will change your mind.
You know how if you were to rate a guy from 1 to 10, and then their personality brings them up a couple notches? That's how I feel about the pond.
I was pretty much the talk of the town in my middle school.
No, you weren't.
Becomes a huge success in the movie theaters and all that stuff, and then people get to watch me be an idiot, and everyone will recognize me as that guy in the documentary about summer camps. Hey, it's the guy, McDuff! Like, my name is Eric McDowell, I'm a professional teacher.
Sugar-free Red Bull. It gives camp wings.
There was a staff member, sorry? I have an itch. I have an itch.